Hey everybody, this is an empty space in our game room that we want to make an addition, and we'll do that with the Braxton 55-inch foosball table by Hathaway. And we're going to show you how to take this box here into this table here. When I first opened up the table, I was happy to see that we have a bunch of styrofoam packing in each of the corners. There's these wood blocks that protect the corners during shipping, and so it's all well protected. You see the instructions there, easily accessible, so you can get started right away. I wanted to show you the parts list that's shown in the instructions so you can kind of get familiar with all the different components you'll be putting together. Here they are all laid out on the floor. You can check to make sure everything's there, everything is in good order, and helps you to be more organized when you're doing your assembly. It's also helpful to note here that all the hardware packages and parts packages are numbered so you can identify them quickly. In step one, we see that we're going to put together the apron of the game table. And you'll see that there's 4 panels on the outside and then some hardware to attach them together. I found very quickly that we would be best doing this together, so I had my wife step in and help. The idea here is it's easier to work on either side of the table and position parts and get things tightened up together. While you're tightening things up, you'll want to leave a little extra space here on the corners. There are corner sections that are going to slide into the slots that are formed there at the corner of those panels, and so having it a little looser will allow those to slide in more easily, and then you will be able to tighten up everything else afterwards. All of these first steps, the table is actually put together upside down, so when you get to the playing field in step 2, that is also put on there upside down. And there'll be holes on each of the ends that will line up to pre-drilled holes in the apron, and that's how you'll attach the top of the table to the playing field. And here's the section on step 3 where we put those corners in. So again, if your corners are too tight, you can loosen up the corners, the hardware there, to give you that extra spacing, and that way those corner pieces will slide into place and protect the corners and give it a nice finish on the outside. Here's where you'll start to work on the support braces for the playing field. Step 4 is for the middle support brace in particular. Here again, we found it helpful to have 2 sets of hands to help keep things in place. This step will have 2 metal plates that need to be held on either side of the supporting board, and then you'll see on the steel plates there that they have a ring that hang down. Those are the ones that will be used in the future step to attach the leg supporting bar. Here's where we use the brace we just assembled and stick it on the table. This again goes on the underside along with the 2 other supporting braces. And it's important on this step to remember what the holes are on the side of the table. So you'll have a little hole in the middle next to the 2 holes that obviously are for the hardware to go through. And that little hole is where a little rod is going to be slid through to the other side. So all those things have to be aligned. Again, easily done with 2 people and definitely recommended. For this step, I wanted to show these 2 steps combined because they go hand in hand. The first part of it is step 6, building the leg panel that's going to attach the 2 sets of legs on either side of the table. This step is where you're just about done with the frame of the table. 2 people helping on this again is good, just because it's easier to position the legs, make sure you get the hardware through those 3 holes and line up with the holes on the legs. Once that's done, you just have a couple more steps and the frame of the table's done. You're now about ready to finish the completion of the table frame. This is done using the leg levelers at the bottom of each leg and then the supporting adjustable support bar that attaches to support brace A that you see here. That part's very interesting. It has a twisting mechanism, and as you twist it one direction, it increases the length of the support bar, and you twist it the other direction and it shrinks it. The idea is you want to make that just long enough that it pulls snug against the supporting brace, but not too snug or too much that it bends that middle support brace. Now to the exciting part. This is where we put the players onto the playing rods on top of the field. You'll see, to get things started off, we kind of got the poles aligned. There's differing quantities of holes in each of those poles, and that corresponds to the quantity of players you'll have on each of those rods. You see that the bumper goes closest to the edge of the table, followed by the washer. And then the players go on the field next, and that will line up again based on the number of the holes on the rod. Once those are in place, it's time to get those things attached. You see you'll have a screw and a nut that go through the player. We found it easiest to hold the player a little bit above the ground, put the nut on the back, hold that in place with your thumb, and then rotate it around and put the screw through the other side and then tighten it up so that the player stays put. And once that's done, the player's all on the rods. The last step is to get the handles and the end caps on, and make sure you put those on the correct side so that the players are on the correct side when they're playing. The last step here then is to put the scorekeepers on. That is done just by aligning the scorekeeper pegs with the pre-drilled holes on top of the table and then putting a single screw through there. Once that's done, your table is all set and ready to play. We've had our kids playing on it for a while. We have young and old, young as 8 and as old as teenagers. And we've had friends over and they just love this table. It is nicely built. It has great rotation on the handles, and everything looks absolutely stunning in our game room space that we had downstairs. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that that helps with your decision or the assembly if you have this table already. And enjoy. Again, this is the Braxton 55-inch foosball table by Hathaway.